Hello folks, my name is Jim. I live in Texas, and this is the long way to Clovis and back, part 2. In part 1 of this video, I discussed my motivations for taking up the hobby of long-distance motorcycle riding. I mentioned that I have a Ninja 250 and that in order to accomplish all-day motorcycle rides, I'd added handlebar risers, a cramp buster, an AMS gel seat, and a GPS to facilitate long-distance riding. On October 17th, I decided to make a formal attempt to earn the Iron Butt Association Saddle Sore 1000 certificate. This requires riding 1,000 miles in less than 24 hours. At each stop, you have to get a fuel receipt or other documentation. You have to have witnesses, and you have to fill out a complete itinerary and log and some other paperwork. Send it into the Iron Butt Association, and if they audit when they audit your paperwork, if they convinced you made the ride in accordance with their rules safely, then they will award the certificate and famous license plate frame. Once I determined to do this last summer, I decided to wait until it cooled off a little because I didn't want to wind up spending all day in 100-degree weather, because I know from sad experience I just don't react well to that. So I planned to do this in the fall when there was a high-pressure system over Texas, so that I could get the advantage of cool weather, not have to worry about that. So September, October was my target time frame. I looked at a lot of possible routes, and I finally decided the route that I would attempt for my Saddle Sore 1000 would be a ride from Austin, Texas to Clovis, New Mexico, which is about 485 or so miles. Then back from Clovis, back the same way on the state highways through Lubbock and Snyder to Interstate 20, and then on Interstate 20 I would proceed to Fort Worth, Texas, and then south on Interstate 35 back to Austin for a total distance of around 1,050 miles. I picked Clovis mainly because the route up there was an interesting one. I hadn't driven up in that part of the world in several years. At one time, I was in the Air Force. I was very involved with the EF-111 program at Clovis, and I sort of had a sentimental soft spot in my heart. I thought about I might go to the base and visit the EF-111 stag display they have there, but I didn't have time for that. But my connection with Clovis and the fact I didn't want to do it all on the interstate. I wanted to see something interesting as well as just earn a certificate. Motivated me to pick Clovis as my end point for this Saddle Sore 1000 ride. On Friday, October 17th, I had determined that we would have good weather. My schedule would allow me to take that day off of work. My startup that I work at as a software developer said they might be able to stay in business and struggle along without me for that one day, and I appreciated that. The night before, I spent several hours packing my saddlebags. I took a lot of stuff. I don't have time in this video to go into all of it, but a tire repair kit, some water, a little bit of snacks, a number of tools, and some other things. So my saddlebags were pretty full. My tank bag was full. And at 7:30 in the morning, I was ready to go. So my wife witnessed my start, and off I went to the really nice Exxon station around the corner from where I live. I filled up, and I got a timestamp of 8:24 on the receipt. Under the Iron Butt rules, I had until 8:24 the following day to get back to that same point, or at least to drive 1,000 miles, not necessarily that same point. In my case, my goal was to get back by 8:24 a.m. the following day to earn my Saddle Sore 1000 certificate. It was a really nice day to ride. I listened to Patrick O'Brien's Treason Harbor. I played it. I digitized that. I had it on CD. I hadn't listened to it in a while. I love Patrick O'Brien, and he's wrote the famous Master and Commander series of historical fiction. So I listened to that all the way up to Clovis. I played it through my XOG GPS. Just put it on an SD card, and my GPS includes an MP3 player, so that worked out real well. I was riding along. I rapidly got clear of Austin, and it was just a beautiful day. And I remember I was in a rolling hills approaching Coleman, Texas, my first gas stop, and I'm thinking, this is what motorcycles are for. As I was just enjoying the scenery, looking at the ranch gates and the ranch houses, and it was just so nice. And I was just so happy, and I was achieved that Zen state that I talked about in the last video. Well, I'm going down a hill, and in the crest of the hill in front of me, a black Crown Victoria crests the hill, and about a second later lights up like a Christmas tree. Well, it was a DPS, the Department of Public Safety. So I said, "Oh darn, I can't believe am I going to get a speeding ticket on my Ninja 250 girls bike?" And I wasn't even trying. I was really trying to stay at the speed limit. I don't intentionally speed, but I didn't know for sure why he was stopping me, and I assumed maybe I was going downhill. Maybe I got a little quick. I didn't mean to. So anyway, I pull over, and the officer comes up, and I'm real nice, and he says, "Son, I stopped you because you were a little fast, but did you know that you are trailing smoke?" Well, no, I didn't know that, but he pointed to my saddlebag, which, because I'd overloaded it, had touched the pipe, the exhaust pipe, and this water was, and these bottles of water that were in there were leaking, and it was making even a little trail of steam. And melted plastic was adding a little smoke to that. So I guess he felt sorry for me. So I jumped off and tightened up my bags and got some duct tape out and tried to patch it up as best I could. And he gave me a warning ticket, told me to be careful, and he took off. So that kind of took me out of my Zen state. I stopped at Coleman, Texas, with my first gas stop. I'll just mention Coleman's a beautiful little town, really beautiful. So I continued on all the way up the state highways, all the way to Clovis. There's really not much to say about the ride. I got a little confused driving through Lubbock. I remember my GPS confused me a little bit. I lost a little bit of time taking a wrong turn. But I got to Clovis, got to the McDonald's there that's right next to a gas station, took my kind of mid-tour break. I felt really, really strong. I had virtually no physical discomfort. I was astounded at how good I felt. Here, just shy of the halfway mark up there in Clovis at the McDonald's. I was astounded that I didn't have a sore back. My knees were fine. I could walk. My butt had feeling in it. It was amazing how good I felt. I really have rarely felt so good as I did when I got there to Clovis. Clovis. And if you look at the picture here, you see the sun is setting there. It's starting to get a little nippy, but no problem. So I took about a half an hour break there at the McDonald's, and I rode across the street and filled up with gas and started headed back. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. I'm going to have to go to a part 3 on this because now I've gotten to Clovis, and I really want to have more than 2 minutes to talk about the ride back. So stay tuned to this channel, same time, same station. Soon you'll have part 3 of my Saddle Sore 1000 to Clovis. This is Jim in Texas. Thank you.